On the eve of our departure in the Southern Cross to fly east-west across the Atlantic, I'd like to take this opportunity of introducing to you two members of the crew. This is Captain Saul, the navigator, and this is Mr. John Stanage, radio operator. It's hardly necessary for me to say that with a machine that's been so thoroughly tried out in long-distance work as the Southern Cross, and with the organization that we've put into the attempt, that we have no doubt whatsoever as to the ultimate success of the venture. And I hope sincerely that before very long we'll have the pleasure of being able to say cheerio to you from the other side of the Atlantic.
Making this frightful din. Even if you can, you probably need an interpreter because I've got a wild Australian accent. We're very, very glad to get here indeed, and the old ship's behaved perfectly wonderfully. All the boys have done their jobs properly, and here we are amongst you all again. All in very high spirits. I'd be much higher spirits if we could get out of this crowd for a while and be quiet, but however, it's the best we can hope for, and we very much appreciate the wonderful hospitality that we're being shown. I'm not a talking machine, so I think I'll quit right now. Thanks very much for listening.
And I think that one should not forget that I'm not the only one that's flying from England to Australia at the present moment. There's a very, very courageous man who I have a very great admiration for, Lieutenant Hill, who had awfully bad luck in crashing at Edinburgh. He's a thorough gentleman, and as I said in Brisbane last night, I think it should be made known that Hill's taken his unfortunate defeat in the race, you might say, like an absolute sportsman. And the very first thing he said to me when I got down at Edinburgh and saw his wreck there, he said, "Have you got a collapsible boat, Smithy?" I said, "No, I've got some life-saving apparatus, but not a boat." He said, "Oh, well, I won't need mine now." He said, "Better take mine." Well, that's the sort of fellow that Hill is.
Yeah.
And you've got to appreciate those sort of chaps. After all, they haven't actually got through, and they don't get the big fuss. You're making a wonderful fuss of me, and I do deeply appreciate it. But let us think sometimes of those chaps that struggle on and met with a little bit of misfortune. I've had lots of good luck. Allow me to introduce you, or rather to reintroduce you, to a very old friend, the Southern Cross. This old bus, as you probably know, has had rather a meteoric career. She started with Sir Hubert Wilkins up in the North Pole, and she finally finished, after traversing practically every ocean in the world with us, finished up back at Australian National Airways hangar. I think that all Australians will agree with me that it is up to our country to do her bit and maintain her share of the operation and maintenance of an England-Australia airmail route. About 12 years ago, the air route between England and Australia was pioneered by those very fine Australians, Sir Keith and the late Sir Charles Smith. Since that time, of course, a number of other aviators have traversed the same route with existing equipment as we have at present, and with existing airmail services that we have at present. It is possible to operate at the present day a service taking no longer than 13 days between England and Australia.
Well, Smithy, you've had very bad luck, and I'm glad to see you here. I wish you'd beaten my record.
I left with every confidence of lowering Jimmy Mollison's record, and I had, unfortunately, a little bit of bad luck south of Victoria Point, where I was caught by darkness and a terrific monsoonal storm, and I spent the night on the beach. Rather to my sorrow, I heard a tiger roar during the night, which I'm afraid didn't add to my composure at all. Thoroughly soaked, and anyway, I got on the next day, got to Rangoon the next evening. Unfortunately, after leaving Rangoon, I was rather badly sunstruck, and got 2 or 3 nasty fainting attacks, which culminated in my having to land for a brief rest in the southern part of Turkey after I left Aleppo. The immediate consequences were that as soon as I landed, I was more or less taken prisoner by Turkish gendarmes. They, who were quite kind, nevertheless detained me definitely, and I wasn't allowed to go for 2 days, which possibly was, from my health point of view, a good thing.